Does that mean that the broadcast networks are going out of business? Hardly. The broadcast networks are converging on a future that looks like their past. They began live and they will end live. Live things can't be hyper-distributed. Doesn't work that way. Now, I'm not saying that some technology won't come along in 2 or 3 or 5 years that gives us the same capability with live programming that we have now with pre-made or pre-produced programming. That could happen. But right now, the corner on live television programming belongs to the networks. So that means sport, that means event and reality and game programming, and that means news. And Australians excel at all of those, and all of those are still going to be enormously valuable to advertisers because they will still aggregate eyeballs. But the rest of the programming is going to become a fragmented sea of opportunities where producers and advertisers will be working together to hyper-distribute content to the viewing audience. Now, it's unknown, because no one's really done any survey research here, what percentage of Australians are downloading their television programming right now. I'm figuring it's probably between 3 and 4% of the total population. But that demographic is males between 18 and 25 years old. That's the magic demographic. That's the demographic that went away. That's the demographic that's not watching TV anymore. Or wait, they are. They're just not watching it in front of a box anymore. They're downloading it and watching it where they please, when they please, on the device they please. And this is something that we have to accept and understand, is that television has been freed from its shackles of a box in a lounge room. Television is now on the mobile. Television is now in your hand with a PlayStation Portable. Television is on your laptop. Television is on your desktop. Television is popping up in more and more and more different places. And if you're a smart producer, you're going to want to capitalize on the fact that those moments are showing up all over the place, and that the target demographics you're looking for are constantly using those devices, constantly having those devices with them. Now, there's another big caveat. Only maybe 20–25% of Australians have broadband right now. In 5 years, that'll be a different story, but I really am talking about today. I'm not trying to tell you that there's some magical future where this is going to happen. I'm going to tell you that there's a real model now. There are only 20 or 25% of Australian homes with broadband, but there are at least 70% of Australian homes with at least one DVD player. This is going to sound ridiculous. That's what I like about it. If you bought the rights to Desperate Housewives, 4 hours of it anyway, printed up 5 million DVDs, and then mailed them to 5 million households in Australia, you'd be paying exactly the same for your advertising as you would if you went to 7. And if maybe you had a partnership with, say, a newspaper, so you didn't have to mail them and saved yourselves the 30 cents. And oh wait, we already distribute DVDs with newspapers. That's right. Well, then you've made it even cheaper. So you could do TV by mail, not just TV by wire, and TV by newspaper. And with the cross-ownership laws about to change, as clearly they are about to do, you're going to start seeing newspapers using TV as a way to promote themselves. This is going to happen. There are a lot of ways of getting television programming into the hands of the audience once that television programming has been freed from the idea that it has to go over the air. And of course, the beautiful thing about a DVD is that it's no longer appointment viewing. That in fact, your ratings on a DVD will be higher than they are on an equivalent TV broadcast, and you'll probably have a handoff rate similar to a magazine, so that one DVD can pass through several hands and several people will see it. Now, I know it sounds a little bit ridiculous to send DVDs out to all the households in Australia, but I want you to imagine my surprise in the 90s when AOL was becoming a large company, and several times a year they would mail out CDs to every single household in America. They would mail out 105 million CDs. It got so bad, my friends were using them for coasters. One of my friends made a prom dress out of AOL CDs. They were everywhere. They were junk. So this idea actually isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. Now, that's all good, and I'm sure you're thinking of some problems with this argument, and I need to take them on as best I can right now. The first argument is the inertia argument. It's ever been thus, it will ever be thus. But here's the thing. Because of BitTorrent, and a BitTorrent, it's a bit like the atom bomb. You can't uninvent it, all right? Because of BitTorrent, the audience is now in control of distribution, all right? Whether or not the audience is choosing to use that control, to execute that authority, that's immaterial. There is a specific portion of your audience, young males 18 to 25, who are exhibiting that control. As that technology passes through the culture over the next 5 to 10 years, the entire audience will be exerting their control over distribution. So inertia is really not a valuable argument here because it assumes that the present and the future are anything like the past, and they aren't. There's a new distribution technology in town, and it's changing everything. And we have to recognize that the places that people want to watch television have changed. Again, we have this profusion of devices showing up everywhere, and people want these devices to have the same sorts of experiences on them as they do with the telly in the living room. Okay.